Imagine this, a sequel to one of the most critically acclaimed films in recent memory, but instead of being met with applause, it's branded a flop. What happened? How did Joker Folie, one of the most anticipated films of 2024, become a point of disappointment for many? In today's video, we're diving deep into why Joker 2 fell flat. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around till the end, because what you'll hear might change the way you look at Hollywood forever. Before we get into the specifics, let's rewind to where it all started. Joker 19 wasn't just a movie. It was a cultural phenomenon, a gritty, character-driven masterpiece that earned Joaquin Phoenix an Oscar and grossed over $1 billion. The film's psychological depth and bold direction left audiences speechless. But when a sequel is announced for a film like Joker, the pressure is astronomical. Here's where Folie ran into its first problem: expectations. Fans didn't just expect a sequel, they expected another cultural reset. And the bigger the expectation, the harder it is to deliver. It's kind of like going to your favorite restaurant after hearing everyone rave about a new dish. If it's anything less than perfect, it's gonna feel like a letdown. Did we set the bar too high for Joker 2? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Because, seriously, could anything have lived up to the hype after Joker? I'll wait. Now let's talk about one of the biggest shifts between Joker and Folie the tone. The first film was this dark psychological thriller that dove into the mind of a troubled man on the brink of chaos. But Folie it took a different approach entirely, leaning into more of a musical framework. Yeah, you heard that right, a musical. Now, musicals can be fantastic, but when you're following up a dark and twisted psychological drama, a sudden shift into musical territory can feel jarring. And that's exactly what happened here. Audiences didn't know how to process the change. Some praised it for its boldness, while others felt it derailed the gritty realism that made the first film so impactful. Was this tonal shift an artistic risk that simply didn't pay off? Or was it a misunderstood genius move? We'll tackle that in just a minute. But first, let's talk about the next critical problem. One of the key reasons Joker worked so well was its intense focus on character. Arthur Fleck wasn't just a villain. He was a tragic figure, someone whose journey we could empathize with, even if it terrified us. But in Folie something got lost. With the introduction of Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn and the expansion of the Joker's world, many feel that Arthur's character took a back seat. Here's where the problem lies. In trying to explore new characters and ideas, the film lost sight of what made the first one great: that raw, personal connection with the Joker's internal descent into madness. The more characters and subplots they added, the less personal it became, and this left audiences disconnected. Instead of delving deeper into Arthur's psyche, the film spread itself thin. But was this the only reason for the disconnect, or was something else at play? Could the issue have been the creative direction itself? Let's find out. Finally, let's talk numbers. Despite being marketed as one of 2024's biggest films, Folie didn't perform as expected at the box office. Why? Part of it boils down to the mixed critical reception. Some hailed the film as a bold artistic leap, while others called it a confusing, disjointed mess. And with a $150 million budget, audiences were expecting a blockbuster, not an arthouse musical. Even the core fan base, those who adored the first film, felt conflicted. Did Folie try too hard to be different? Was it aiming for awards or box office success? The split left viewers unsure of what they were watching. Here's a question for you. Do you think the Joker works in a musical? Or are we all just living in one of his twisted jokes? By the time the credits rolled, many walked away feeling like the film lacked the same impact. Sure, the performances were stellar. Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga both delivered, no doubt. But the movie? It just didn't land with the same gut punch. So, why is Folie considered a flop? Ultimately, it was a combination of mismatched expectations, tonal shifts, and diluted character focus. It's a film that wanted to push boundaries, but in doing so, alienated its audience. But here's the thing, flops aren't always failures. Sometimes, they're just ahead of their time. So, while Folie might not have struck a chord now, who knows? In 5 or 10 years, we might be looking at it with completely different eyes. And before you go, if you love deep dives into superhero movies, you'll want to check out our video on Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. Another film that, let's just say, didn't go as planned. Hit that end screen and dive into that chaotic story right now.